Welcome back, gamers, to another exciting episode. That is a terrible intro. Don't tell me to be quiet. Welcome back, gamers, to another exciting episode of Mediocre Gamers. I am INF Rebel. Joined by always is my Chewbacca to my Han Solo, DMI Patriot. Apparently, I get too excited sometimes and it cuts out. So I apologize for having enthusiasm. Anyway, exciting episode today. Just had the Super Bowl yesterday, which was blah. Commercials are blah. Lot to talk about there. Bunch of movies and games, and we actually played D&D for our first time, so we're going to discuss that as well. But let's go with the big topic, the Super Bowl. The game, for Raiders fans, I hated it. It's Tom Brady, who robbed us of our Super Bowl appearance with his made-up tuck rule, goes to Tampa Bay, who stole our coach and then blew the Raiders out in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, who are the mortal enemies of the Raiders. It was literally the worst game as a Raiders fan to watch. But nothing but respect. I love I don't love Tom Brady. I love Patrick Mahomes. The kid is just amazing, and I hate that he's a Chief. He's gonna be there a while. But just some of the passes he was making. And then Tom Brady.
He was almost laying down and threw it 40 yards.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I don't understand how that's even humanly possible. He was horizontal with the ground and threw it 40 yards and hit somebody in the face.
Before, he's getting tackled and spins around and chucks it on a dime, and the guy just caught it out of bounds. But I bring it up because the commercials were just terrible, man.
Well, yeah, this year you noticed that there was no Pepsi, there was no Budweiser, there was no what I like to say Hyundai, Hyundai commercials. Hyundai's those are the big three that's been there pretty much past 5 years. So those weren't there.
It's like people are like everyone wants to be PC. They don't want to get canceled, and there's such this big brand that they can't push the envelope, and they did. I'm like, and I'm sitting here thinking, they paid millions of dollars. The only commercial I literally remember is the Oatly one because it was freaking
horrible,
bad, but it stuck out to me.
I just didn't understand. They were in a soybean field. Like I pointed that out. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's made by oats, but they're in a soybean field. What?
Yeah, and like. Apparently everything could be fucking milk now. I mean, oat milk apparently is the new big thing. How the fuck do you get oat milk? I mean, granted, I drink almond milk. I have
nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Right? Or in the ranch, where the fuck's a tit on an almond? But it's everything. And then it blew my mind. Like I literally didn't pay attention to any of them. I was on my phone. I'm like, these are absolute dog shit. I was waiting for Carnage or these other movie trailers. Didn't see them. If I did, I don't remember them. And the other kind of thing I was looking for was the Doritos 3Ds. That there was a big thing, and I kind of was so turned off and immediately I caught the very end of it. It was like chili cheese 3Ds or something.
Yeah,
but there was nothing memorable. There was nothing to talk about. It was just mute and.
Yeah, I liked the. I love how we're talking more about the commercials.
Well, we don't really talk about sports anymore. So I was like, this is pop culture. It's a thing.
There was one thing that I did notice, which was the new Yellowstone, coming out on Paramount Plus. Which everybody
stopped paying attention to that once they did Schnicky. I'm like, I don't care about this.
Everybody's coming out with a new streaming platform. So once that so. It seems that it's going to be it's Yellowstone 1883. So I think it's going to be the
start of the Dutton Ranch.
Yeah, the grandpa when they first went out there to
can't be the grandpa. It has to be the great grandpa, man.
Why?
1883, it's 2000. That's 107 years.
Yeah. His dad was probably born in 1920. And then his dad before. Yeah. Dude, that's
if it's 1883, it has to be the great grandpa.
Not if he's. It depends on who you're talking about.
Are you talking about John Dutton, the Kevin Costner?
Yes.
If it's his grandpa,
he's damn near 70 in this fucking show. Okay,
so you're saying
70 years ago,
1883. There's no way he's gonna be 30.
His grandpa
and not have a kid. He's not. Oh, it's John Dutton's grandpa.
Yes.
Okay, got it. We're on the same page now. Like, dude, this is not making sense. Okay, got it.
I'm so confused. How you didn't understand that?
I don't know, man. So, so yeah, that's probably what it is. And I love that show. And I didn't know. I'd kind of like to see how John kind of built the empire.
Yeah.
But maybe this is going to be like the grandpa started it, and then John's dad, then John. I don't really know how it's going to go, but I would be more interested to kind of see how John got it started. But maybe it was like his grandpa inherited and kind of how the troubles he went through, because it's probably going to be 1883. That's around what, like the 100-Year War, the American Indian Wars and stuff as well.
20 years after, so it'll be right after when everybody started going more west after the Civil War and stuff. So that's when people were staking those lands. So it was actually people staked the land before it was turned into a national park. So it wasn't there wasn't no national parks at that point, I don't believe. So he could have went out there, staked his land. So there would be an Indian presence or Native American.
Oh, because there is a one now, so it might be kind of how they did it. But
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see how they do it. I really hope they truly stick to the story, because I waited forever for Sons of Anarchy prequel, and they gave us a Mayan spinoff, but it was supposed to be about the original 13 or the original 9.
Yeah.
Crow, and that's never came to be or whatever. But I kind of hope, because sometimes these prequels they're terrible. So
yeah,
but I have high hopes for it. Do you know who's casting it?
No, I think it honestly is probably in pre-production, because there was no trailer. It honestly just said like it was like cold and frozen and like ice and blue and stuff like that, and then it's like Yellowstone, and then it said like 1883. I was like, oh crap, it's pretty badass. And then it said on Paramount Plus, and I was like, ugh.
I just hate that everyone has their own streaming.
Yeah,
like
if I pay for all,
why
of
even
these,
have TV?
If I pay for all these, it's more than fucking DirecTV it costs, and I still don't have NFL.
Like everyone went from like cord cutting to like now you're basically forcing people to go back, because Netflix was great, but then NBC is like, nope, they got ours, and they pulled The Office back and all their other shows back. And now it's like, if you want to watch the stuff, you have to watch it on their streaming services or have cable.
I think it will go back. It will be trimmed down probably within the next 5 years. You'll see a lot of people they just won't be able to. It won't be sustainable. So it'll be the Hulus, it'll be the Netflixes, it'll be, I think Disney Plus will stay just because of Marvel and the Disney name. But I think that there's a couple others that might stay, but I don't see like Peacock staying. Like the other day I had issues like with Hulu, and then I tried to get on Peacock to watch Saturday Night Live, and then Saturday Night Live wasn't on there. It was only old episodes. It's like, okay, what's the whole point of having this stuff and then having a live tab, and then I can't even watch anything live that's on NBC? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
The thing that irritates me also about Peacock is I started to get into the Chicago shows. It was on like Prime or something. So like on Prime, it stopped off like season 5, like Chicago PD and Chicago Fire. So I'm like, oh, I have Peacock. Let me see. And it's literally just the newest episode, like the latest season. I'm like, you own these rights. Yep. Why can't I binge from the first season?
Yep.
Like, why am I having to only get select stuff that I get on the other services? Or
it's because they have a contract with they have split contracts right now with different places. That's why like The Office is just now coming this year, came to Peacock.
Right. But so, I mean, I was just irritated by it, because I had stopped watching and I started binging these shows, and then I literally had to pay, like, rent them from Amazon. I'm like, I'm not renting a season.
Yeah, $1 an episode.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
and then it just kind of stopped me. So I'm like, okay, I can't binge this, and I don't want to watch it live because I'm missing like 2 seasons of stuff. And I was really enjoying Chicago PD and Chicago Fire, and I just hate that there's just so many streaming services out there now.
Yep, same. All right, so that wraps up the Super Bowl.
You want to talk about the halftime show?
Yeah, we can, absolutely.
I don't know what the fuck I watched. It was weird.
I think it's because you don't know The Weeknd, though. I mean, you probably know his music, but you probably don't know his music videos and stuff like that.
No, I don't. I don't watch music videos really anymore, except when you get a phone call from Anna and I want to serenade you. But yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Like, I was just like, okay, this isn't like, I like his music, I really do, but it was just weird, the whole thing, and the toilet paper on their face or whatever. That I'm like, what is going? This is too much.
Yeah.
Can we just have a simple man on stage just singing songs?
So like 2
or a
months ago, there
woman?
was a huge thing where he like took pictures and stuff like that of his face, and it was because of his new music video, and he had like gigantic lips and like sunken
Oh
in cheeks and
yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
remember that. It was like plastic
Yeah.
surgery or something.
So that's what
okay.
is in regards to, because his face was wrapped up for a performance. He was either a performance or he accepted an award or something like that. And so it was like a whole ordeal. He also
Okay.
put in $7 million of his own money into that production because they weren't planning on doing a whole shebang with it. So he put in a bunch of his own money for all that stuff, which I thought was interesting because I doubt that any other person would do that. And he was getting
I doubt it.
he was getting a lot of crap for it, which I just don't understand. I think it's because you have nobody can do anything anymore. It's like it's not my nostalgia, and that's what it is. It's like, okay,
No.
cool. I mean, it's not necessarily about you. It's about what's happening right now and trying to keep the NFL relevant. Because if you're like, I want Led Zeppelin, then you're not. It's not going to happen, man. That's just not going to happen.
And it's, they don't pay them, and they're like, oh, it's free publicity to 100 million people or whatever. But
yeah,
it's neither here nor there. But overall, it was a letdown across the board for me anyway. Hopefully people will stop being so PC and oversensitive. But
I loved all of the Chiefs fans across the nation
just making excuses,
just
like
bawling. I absolutely reveled in that. It was amazing to me.
The fact that everyone thinks that one man affects the referees are on his side, like, you just can't give him credit. Like, he dominated 20 years, went to another team, did the impossible, and did it again,
and won
and
8 games in a row. 8 games in a row, late in the season. Like that's tough to
and
win
then,
8
like,
games in a row.
I was watching, like, afterwards, Chris Berman needs to go back in retirement, but he was like saying, like, oh, Andy Reid's son was in an accident and this little girl's in the hospital. She had a lot on his mind. His team was feeling. I'm like, you're literally making excuses for how poor they played. Like, yeah, that's a tragedy, and I feel bad that little girl's fighting for her life, but you're using that as an excuse for how terrible they looked, and then you're blaming the Buccaneers defense flat out outplayed him the entire time. They took away what they did best. The Todd Bowles had a great game plan, I think, and they didn't look comfortable at all. Like, you literally never seen Patrick Mahomes rattled, and he was rattled.
So according to Next Gen Stats, Patrick Mahomes running away from the defense ran 420 yards. It was like 490 something, I think. That's what it was. It was some like before pass and before sacks. That's how much he ran. Yeah, over 400 yards he ran. He was running from the defense.
And it was literally all the Chiefs fan. Well, they had backup tackles in. They're professional NFL players.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
The refs, terrible calls. You're just making excuses. There was 2 questionable calls on pass interference. Andy Reid called terrible timeouts at the end of the second quarter, and then he went down and scored. Yeah. Like, stop making excuses. You guys got your ass kicked.
Yeah. And not only that, there's been other horrible calls throughout the season on them.
Right.
That they've come back from, or that didn't even matter. So why these 2? It just doesn't make sense to me. You're not even mentioning the fact that there were 2 pretty blatant holding calls and stuff like that when they shouldn't have. It was way against away from the ball and everything else. They shouldn't have been holding. The Chiefs have been doing that all year. That's how they play. Yeah. They've had tons of those calls all year. They weren't playing any different. You can't expect anything different. So,
All right, that'll wrap up our Super Bowl review. That kind of just went off topic, but Jesus. We're gonna talk about our D&D adventures.
Yeah.
So we played on Friday, and we played for like 4 hours, and it didn't seem like 4 hours.
It went
Um,
by super quick.
yeah, like like our buddy Rev Diesel, or my buddy I play World of Warcraft with, set it up, and he had a couple of his buddies in, and I was, I didn't really want to expect. Usually, I'm kind of boisterous, outlandish, but like I don't know how these guys played, so there were some things I didn't want to like try to do to like get us killed. There's a couple times we got real close to dying, but there's just listening to them, and like you build this character. I didn't know I was supposed to have like a backstory, and then your character talks and interacts and does all these different stuff, and it was really interesting. Like this is like the grandfather of like all the games I love. This is where all my MMORPGs come from, is from Dungeons and Dragons. And we played for 4 hours, and literally like he was like, it's almost 11:30, 10:30 our time. I was like, oh Jesus. And then just learning it, kind of picking it up, kind of seeing how these other guys did it who've played it in a while, kind of listening to them and kind of how they do stuff. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I loved building the backstory and stuff like that. I didn't know that's what we needed to do, but I don't think that they expected us to either. So I was watching. I was getting. It was weird. My anxiety started getting to me. I was like, I really don't know how to play this. I don't know. So I started watching some videos on YouTube about how to get started
Really?
and like all that stuff. And so there was this guy on there that was really informative. I loved his videos. And he said he
Shout
likes.
them out.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I forgot. Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
Yeah,
no,
if I looked
no
back, yeah, I
free
would.
publicity.
But but he said that he likes new people to come in with no preconceived expectations. He doesn't even care if they enjoy the rules. They want to kind of mold the experience around the individuals and see how they're reacting to it, and so they can either go farther deeper into it to see what they're doing. So it's all based off of the dungeon master and what they're thinking. So I felt good about that because there wasn't he didn't give us a whole lot of information to go off of. So
It's like all those handbooks and guides, and like, I'm
yes,
like, I'm not reading all of this
yeah,
stuff. Like I said, what do I need to like know or learn? It's like you don't really need this. Is more just like informational help. I'm like, okay. And like he even Rev is like, it's like I love this is I think his second time being a dungeon master. Because I love playing with new people because they don't know really anything, and a lot of the time you get outside the box thinking, because a lot of people have been playing it for so many years, and they do certain things every single time. It's like, well, you guys are brand new, so what you guys think or do might be completely different than everyone else because you've never done it
yeah,
and you've never experienced it. So getting that fresh perspective of stuff, because I'm really excited about this. And so
yeah,
I kind of, I kind of let the other people lead, just kind of to get
yeah,
comfortability on it. But as we keep playing and I get more comfortable, I'm gonna probably take the lead. That's just kind of who
yeah.
I am. And hopefully we can just move on from there. But
I did. I felt a little overwhelmed at first. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, when I should be interjecting and asking questions or saying what I would like to do. I didn't understand the turn perspective. It's only when I like, from what I understand, is that there's only turns when you have an encounter. When it's
yeah,
outside of an encounter or after an encounter, there's no real turns, or at least in this specific
yeah, like we
way.
went to that town and inn, and you can go explore. And then I guess it's kind of on us just to like invent questions and like how would we actually interact with them. And that was like, it kind of like threw me off when I was listening to the other guys do it. I'm like, okay. And they were bartering with them and stuff. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah,
can see how this is going.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, it's gonna take a while to kind of learn and get through all the campaign and whatever else. Right now, I think we're in a cave where we took our break and we killed the
Goblins
king or
and
whatever.
yeah,
But I think the one thing that I need to do better is there is a notes tab and keep notes of everything. So that kind of sounded like what the other guys were doing. It's like, okay, this is, this is what we're looking for. Here's this, that, and the other thing to get kind of more organized. So that's
yeah,
one thing I took away is like, okay, I need to start writing down more stuff.
yeah. That's what I started doing, especially with
I
the
did it in
give.
that last cave,
Yeah,
and
no,
then
I
but
started I
wasn't doing
started
it
when we got to
earlier.
the town, and like who has what and like what kind of spells and stuff that like the mystical has and stuff like that. So like that's what the stuff that I wrote down so I could put that in the
Right.
back of my mind. And especially what the general store person had. That was another stuff, as all that stuff was really helpful. And I really like, so I bought a lamp, a bullseye lamp, and some oil and stuff like that, even though I didn't really need to, because I found out later that I had that we all have like really good night
Yeah.
vision. And I'm like, fuck. So I just bought this
Yeah,
for
I
no
didn't know
reason.
either. Like, that's why I got the dancing lights, spell in the beginning. It's like, "Oh, if you're going somewhere dark,
Yeah.
I can light it up," and then I went to go place like, "You can see in the dark." I'm like, "Well, I didn't know that."
So that's just something we have to learn for the future, man. I
Yeah.
mean, like that's the way it is. So I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next time we do it. I'm hoping that I can do it on Friday. I'm not sure if we can, if I can, but I will let everybody know. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm not quite sure what the schedule is, if it's gonna be every week, every month, or whatever, but I had an absolute blast, and I'm kind of excited to, you know, get more confidence, like, in myself and in this game so I can kinda, like, really deep explore it. Um, because I just kind of wanted to see how it all laid out and how it goes and what I was supposed to actually do, this, that, and the other thing. I just didn't want to jump in. Not only that, it's like I know your play style. Like we've played games for 15 years together,
yeah,
but then getting these other two guys, I don't know how they are.
yeah.
Like I'm attacking it, and then like he's like trying to like subdue the guy. I'm like, well, let's fucking murder him. Why are we trying to subdue this
No,
cock
that's what
sucking
it was.
goblin?
It was the last goblin. So I wanted to see if we could subdue it and try to get more information out of him. So
Yeah,
that's the
then
way I started thinking of it towards the end. I was like, oh man, why the fuck are we just killing him? I was like, that's why I asked. Also, is like we're just assuming that the goblins are bad here. We don't know if who's bad because we came up upon this fight. I was like, so we're just killing the goblins, and it could be the elves that were the
oh
bad people.
yeah, but I mean, if you're going
Historically,
off of
goblins are
lore,
bad.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean it's like interesting. I that even dawned on me. Like I was bloodthirsty. Let's murder these motherfuckers. And
Yeah.
you're like, let's tie them up and
Yeah.
subdue them. Like boring.
No, and then the other thing for
But
me was
but I mean like that's kind of a good idea. But the guy was useless. So
yeah, but like the biggest takeaway that I got from it, so it was when we were in the cave and that big guy, the big hairy guy came out, whatever his name would start with the B, was Brutus or something like that. Um
yeah,
yeah, he comes out and we're all damaged at this point.
dude, I
And
thought we were gonna die. Like,
yeah,
all those
so did I.
goblins just
But
kept coming.
and then I was like, I got to do a range tack. Got to do a range tack. So I did a ranged tack, rolled a 20, rolled a 19, and then hit like 8 crit, which was, and it just like completely, he's like, and the dungeon manager's just like, holy crap, that's like doing a 360 nose scope for the win. Like, that's basically what it, like, and that made me so hyped. I loved it. I was like, holy shit, because I got an adrenaline rush like I would if I like hit an awesome game winning shot or something like that in Call of Duty. Like I wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I wasn't.
Oh
So,
yeah, and then we went into that like closet. There's an ooze. I'm like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, they're really bad. I'm like, let's fucking get out. Like we ran out, and then
yeah.
then we closed the door. Then the other guy's like, let's barricade the door. I'm like, didn't even think about barricading the door. I just figured
Yeah.
the door was locked and couldn't get out.
Yep. Yeah. No. So
Yeah.
it was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So I can't wait to jump back into it.
Oh yeah, it was a great experience. It really was. It's something I've wanted to do forever. And I never thought in a million years it's something you'd want to do. Like when you said that to me, it blew my mind.
Yeah,
Because you never really played those games. You've never really played like Final Fantasy. You refused to play World of Warcraft with me.
no, but
But like when you like mentioned it, I'm like, okay. And then I just happened to be talking to Rev in Discord one day. And he's like, yeah, I'll set one up for you guys. I was like, really? Because the only other people I knew who played was Antares. She plays, I think, like every week. And then McJitters, he plays like on and off with his brother. That's the only people. And then I think there was a Rodman Comics. I think they used to have a game in Ankeny.
Oh, really?
Or maybe it was Magic that they had. Like
Yeah,
Friday.
there's Magic the Gatherings. They have quite a bit
Yeah.
especially the card shop in West Des Moines. I know that also.
So yeah, I mean, it was a great experience, and kind of just sitting here for 4 hours and like kind of just using it. It's like I haven't really done it since I was a kid. Like just using my imagination.
Yeah.
Because there was like a scenario where we're walking. It's like just imagine all this.
Yeah.
And like when we were a kid, you'd pick up a stick and it was a sword or a lightsaber, and you just kind of let your imagination run wild. But like I'm an adult. Like when do I get to do that? Like if I play a game, I get all the graphics and backstories and stuff. So it was nice to kind of like
Yeah.
And like, just like introduce yourself. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to create a backstory. So, I mean, it was great. It's kind of like what I used to love about reading. Like, I used to love reading because you get it to create that world, whatever you read in your head. And that's what I need to get back into reading because I just love that part. Like, just imagining creating what you think is happening in your own mind. And, the words come and you create it. A lot of times they turn them into movies. You're like, this wasn't close to what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But
well, and I think that's where the whole thing comes through. Like, oh, it's not as good as the book, kind of stuff, because you can only do so much in a certain amount of time. But like I said, when we were on the phone after we got off, I was like, I found myself just smiling through the whole experience, and like it just made me feel good, which that's hard to do. Like, I mean, like where I just had like this childish joy while doing it. And I don't get that very often. So,
I mean, just for the longest time, like people like, we like to do for fun. I'm like, I like to play video games. So like, what? And then, the past 5-6 years, it's become this phenomenon. Like, yeah, you should play video games. Like, but it was such like a taboo to like admit, like, yeah, I play video games in my like spare time. That's what I like doing.
Yeah. Now everybody loves comics. It's cool to be a nerd. Cool.
Right?
Where was that 20 years ago? Actually, it was 30 years ago for us, but
yeah. But I mean, even so, like I used to collect like these comic book cards when I was a kid. I never collected comics, so something I kind of always wish I did. But yeah, for the longest time, it was like had this stigmatism about like gaming. Like you can't make a career out of that. Well, turns out if I was stuck with it, maybe I could have.
Yep, exactly.
So, but it's just nice to kind of see everything now it's come full circle and all the stuff that I loved and kind of I was kind of more of a bully in high school, let's be honest, but I kind of like kept to myself. But kind of the stuff that I loved that like I didn't want people to know because I was embarrassed because I don't want to be made fun of is now like the mainstream popular stuff.
Yeah. No, it was a great experience. I highly recommend it. If anybody gets a chance to do it, I highly recommend doing it.
Yes, 100%.
I did talk to a couple people saying that, it was like, they asked me what I was doing this weekend. And I was like, and I was like kind of hesitant saying it because there is there is a stigma behind it. And so
especially about D&D, because I even like saw your girlfriend post like, oh, he ditched me to play D&D. I'm like, oh yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, it was a great fucking time. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, some people just don't get it. But do what you love, man. Like if you love gaming and like you're not hurting anybody, you're gaming, having fun. So,
exactly.
it was a great experience, and I'm glad I finally got to experience it. I'm excited to keep going and kind of build this character. Like looking back, I probably would have picked something different, but here we are.
Exactly.
I'm a bard, and I'm going to kind of live with that and kind of build it. And then like I'm kind of thinking like at the end, maybe I should have just kind of told stories or sang songs to see if I can get money for tips.
I think maybe that's what, like, you can turn, because that's what your whole goal was, is to be able to turn these things into stories. So I think in the future, after the cave experience, you can go back to the inn and tell
It's
your story,
true, yeah.
and maybe
Telling the
get
tales
some.
of slaying goblins and
Yeah.
yeah. It's a good
So
idea. I didn't really think about taking like stuff on their adventures and turning it in.
yeah.
I was just kind of like, yeah. So maybe that's something I'll look into. And yeah, I'll talk to the other guys and like maybe we'll stream it and see if it's like, hey, do you guys mind if we stream? Because I don't want to stream without their permission if they're
Correct.
not comfortable with it.
That's ultimately
That's
what
why
I
I
would
didn't do
love
it
to
the
do. Yeah, I would
yeah.
love
I
to
didn't
do
want to
that.
do it the first time. Not only that, I just didn't want to be like, people like you're an idiot. Well, granted, I'll probably like one or two people watching. Let's be real, but I don't know. I wasn't confident enough in myself in this game to like, okay, here we go. Let's stream it. I wanted to get like a little familiarity with it before I'm like, okay, let's stream this. I'm feeling kind of good. So I kind of see like GTA RP people, they like have this switch where they talk to their chat like this, and then they go into their character.
Yeah.
So that's like I kind of watch them and kind of see how they transition in and out. Obviously, you're gonna have to have like a push to talk button for Discord so I can communicate with them, but then also have the side conversation with the stream and chat. So
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
all right. Another thing I want to touch on is I've been seeing a lot of uptick recently in the game called Rust. That's been around forever.
Yeah.
And I've always thought the game looked dumb. It's like this primitive kind of like open world stuff. And I used to watch this one guy. He used to make like fake shops and trap people and steal all this shit. But I think most people are playing it now, but they're doing it on private servers, so they can't do that. But it's just crazy that this game. I think Rust has been around for years, and now these big time streamers are kind of branching out because they're getting sick of Call of Duty and other stuff. But
Yeah. So
I don't think it'll last.
I think there was a release or something that's what made it become popular again against a certain subsect within Twitch, and then it kind of expanded it a little bit more. Now it's on Facebook too. There's a whole Facebook gaming server that they have that like Lynx and Newcomb and quite a few other people have that they're doing, but it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of that type of game. It's like Ark, where you start with nothing and then you have to forage and build and
see, Ark looked interesting because there was dinosaurs and stuff, but I don't know. Rust doesn't look that interesting, and the Amazon game is kind of like that too. The beta I played is kind of this open world and you go and forage shit. I didn't get to play it enough to kind of deep into it, but I don't know if there's going to be a game. I don't think I'll ever play Rust. I really just not interested in it. But but those type of games like Monster Hunter World,
yeah, Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I liked it. It was interesting to me. It was kind of fun, but I lost interest in it as well. But it was kind of interesting, kind of see these people playing it. But an open world game that I'm absolutely thrilled about is Hogwarts Legacy. I'm just upset they pushed it back to 2022. I was really looking forward to playing it this year. Both of us are huge Harry Potter nerds. When we went to Potterland and Universal in Orlando, and I had an absolute blast when I'm casting spells.
My wand. Oh, it's with my Xbox controllers, but yeah,
mine's somewhere. Oh, they're down there. Can't really see them. Yeah, I mean, I was so excited, but I want them to get it right because we saw what happened with Cyberpunk, all this hype, and people just kept complaining, and released it, and there was all these bugs. Especially with these huge open world concept games, you got to make sure everything's working. So I'm excited about it. I am bummed that they get pushed back at least a year, but when it comes out, that's all. I'm going to be the greatest wizard of all time.
Yep. So I even my friend Jennifer is also a huge Harry Potter nut, and so she's excited about it also. So I'm just excited to play some sort of, because we've wanted something like this in the Harry Potter world for a long time, to where you can grow your own character and you can go through Hogwarts. This one's based in the 1800s, I believe. So it is it's way before
Yeah, yeah.
Voldemort and all those guys. So but I think it's still a young some of the wizards might still be in it. I'm not positive. But just because they age weird.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who would be in it. Maybe Dumbledore, but I mean, he was young. When is no, he won't be in it because he was a young man in Fantastic Beasts, and that was like the early 1900s. So
Was it? Okay.
I believe so. So I don't know if he'll be in it or like the characters that we know, which is fine.
Yeah.
Um, maybe Nicholas Flamel with the Resurrection Stone might be in it somewhere, but
Yeah. I think
maybe
it's gonna open up.
Dumbledore's, maybe like some ancestors of people like that we
Yeah.
know might be like, making an appearance. So it might have all new characters in it, but I'm excited for it. I really kind of hope to see what they do with it.
Yeah. And I really wish it wasn't just Hogwarts. I've always wanted more of other schools.
Right.
And so because they're just the whole world doesn't necessarily just revolve around Hogwarts, but it seems like the movies and the books do, which makes
Yeah.
sense
So I mean,
because that's where Harry Potter was, but we never know much more about the outside world. And I think Fantastic Beasts kind of goes into that a little bit more.
we got
But
a little bit of like the American stuff, and then like the French, I believe that's where they went.
yeah,
But in the Goblet of Fire, we got to see like the French ladies and then the men from Bulgaria, and then we found out there's an Irish Quidditch team as well. So
yeah,
there's obviously other places, and could definitely kind of see the differences. It would be kind of, but Hogwarts is the biggest one, so that's what you're gonna do. Maybe if the game is a hit and it evolves, you have choices to like go to different schools or whatever. But it would be interesting. I think she could do other series, but she's facing such a huge backlash with her, transphobia tweets or whatever. So
you write books. I don't care about that shit. That's
yeah.
why does anybody care about that? What she thinks about any of that stuff? Why is that a big deal?
Because everyone wants to cancel people. Everyone wants to have their opinion, like
Yeah.
if they don't agree with it's getting out of control. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have to agree with them.
Yeah.
Everyone has different opinions. No one's gonna agree on the same stuff. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't even know when the third movie's supposed to come out for Fantastic Beasts. I mean, I'm waiting on the finale of that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't even heard anything about that. I know that.
Yeah, 2020 threw everything like through a loop, but
I know that Johnny Depp's not in it anymore. I don't believe. I think he got canned
because of that. Yeah,
because
I don't know if he did or not officially, because who knows the whole story. But the whole
Yeah.
thing is about being an abuser, and then
Yeah.
kind of sound like Amber Heard was too. Then they're talking about kicking her out of Aquaman.
Yeah.
I don't know the facts. It's
Yep.
I'll let the courts decide whatever. But
Yep.
crazy times.
I just want a movie, man. That's all I want.
Right. I want to watch movies to escape problems. I know, like, no, but
Exactly.
yeah. So, did you watch the weird gaming habits video I sent you?
I did not. No.
Okay, we can say that for the next time. Next up, did you watch the Willy Wonderland trailer? The Nicolas Cage.
Yes, that looks so. He's literally not saying no to any roles whatsoever.
He has it for the longest time, but if you know what it is, it's a real movie. It's basically a horror movie where like Chuck E. Cheese, like the characters like come to life and like murder people. And he's like a janitor there. It looks absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I always thought those things, like when I was a child, it was Showbiz Pizza, and then it went to Chuck E. Cheese. Those things are always creep me out. Like the things are so creepy. Like even as an adult, when you look at them, like this is just like animatronic, like
nightmare
it looks
fuel.
Yeah, it looks absolutely ridiculous, but it's probably gonna be absolutely terrible. It's probably gonna be like straight to like Netflix or something. But I'm excited for it. I will watch it at least once just to see what it's about. But it like he doesn't say no to anything.
And I which is surprising me now because right now he's going to be back on the Disney payroll with National Treasure because they're
doing a third one.
They're doing a third one. It was already announced, so they're working on that. So why they ever stopped doing those, I have no idea.
I don't know either. Like the both of them were absolutely amazing.
National Treasure was a fucking national treasure. We need to keep going with that. Run it into the ground. It's pure
I think
gold.
that's what the Capitol riot was really about. They wanted to seal a Declaration of Independence, see if there was a map. But let's not get political.
Oh God.
All right. Going off that and Nicolas Cage's terrible decisions, I wanted to have a discuss. If you're on a deserted island and you can only watch movies or TV shows from one actor or actress's catalog, who are you choosing and why?
Riley Reid. No, I'm joking.
Could go like Sasha Grey so you can watch some Entourage at least.
That's fucking hilarious. I don't, Jesus Christ, Skinny. Yeah. That's a great one. Do you have one on deck?
I've thought about it, and it's probably going to be Denzel or Mark Wahlberg for me. But I mean, it's tough. I mean, like, what movies or TV shows can you like watch over and over again? Like, I'm looking at like what show do I watch all the time? Parks and Rec and The Office. I always watch those. So it might be John Krasinski, just because you have Jack Ryan, you have The Office, and he has done some really good movies. 13 Hours was great. I don't know. Chris Pratt was another one because you get like the Marvel movies, you get Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And then
I'm kind of thinking Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I can see that too. I do like a lot of his rom-coms. A lot of people don't, but
yeah,
I mean, Denzel has a lot of great ones as well. It's tough, man.
A very underrated rom-com is The Proposal.
Definitely maybe. I love The Proposal is great.
Proposal was probably one of my favorites.
I don't know if you remember Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place.
Yes,
that's where I remember him. Exactly. That was a good show.
That was.
But then you got
ABC back in the day, I believe it was.
yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's tough because that's the only thing you can watch. It have to be some bangers in there, and I don't know. I think I'd probably go with Mark Wahlberg because he has such a range. Knowing that he does appear in Entourage, so I'm saying I gotta watch. He's an executive producer on it, so that's 8 seasons of the Entourage, which I love.
Yep.
And he also executive producer on Shooter, which was a pretty good show as well. So I mean, he does produce a lot of stuff too. So that's the other kind of thing I was thinking. Okay, technically he's a producer on it, so technically
does that count?
He's a part of that. It's part of his catalog. I don't know. I didn't make the rules. I just kind of saw this question. I'm like, this is an interesting question, but I'm probably going to go with Mark Wahlberg.
That's probably a good one. That's a real good one. I think I like. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would probably stick with Ryan Reynolds at this point, just Ryan because Reynolds, there is action movies. You get some X-Men in there. You get Green Lantern.
Get the one X-Men in there. That's absolutely terrible. You get Wolverine, the origin story.
Yep. And then and then his newer stuff like the Underground 9 or Underground 6 or whatever it was. Or 6 Underground. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a tough one.
Yep. Outside of that, I mean, I watch The Office a lot. That's kind of my go-to.
Right.
So
that's
maybe it would be like John Krasinski or Steve Carell.
Yeah. I don't know if really other stuff that Steve's in that I would like. Yeah, it's great. Like 40-Year-Old Virgin was great. That's why I was thinking maybe like Judd Apatow too, because he's a writer and so much other stuff too that he's done. But
But Ashton Kutcher is in The Office.
Yeah, but his movies are terrible.
But that you get The Office in that 70s show.
You do. You get The Ranch.
You get The Ranch. Oh man, those are.
But you get Dude, Where's My Car? I could probably watch, but like Just Married was absolutely terrible.
I loved it. I've watched that. I don't know. I've watched that.
I didn't really care for it. My boss's daughter.
Is that the Just Married? That's the.
When they go to like France and she's
no. I'm thinking of the one with where they get married in Vegas, and then they try to get divorced.
Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
That other marriage one that he's in.
Yeah. I'm trying to even think of like supporting actors, like not big ones that just like have so many small like roles. Like
Friends with Benefits, was he in that one or something like that?
No, that was Justin Timberlake.
No, but he did one also with that where it was.
Oh yeah, with Natalie, No Strings Attached.
Yeah, with Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
I'm making a formal change to Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher.
He's from Iowa.
Yeah.
All right. Now, since we both picked men, what female would you choose? I'm probably going with Charlize Theron, personally.
Ooh.
Either her or because she does so many great movies.
Yeah. This one's a tough one.
Or it's kind of maybe like Amy Poehler or Tina Fey, maybe.
But maybe
because you got Saturday Night Live, you got 30 Rock, you got Parks and Rec, and then their movies. I know that they write a lot too. So I was trying to think of them, but like Charlize Theron is probably the one I'd pick just because I'm a fan of all of her movies. And I get to see Marky Mark in The Italian Job, so
true. Yeah, I think she's top tier. Yeah. I don't think that there's anybody. Maybe Angelina Jolie.
I thought about that, but she really hasn't done that many movies as of late.
True.
And I don't, And I was trying to think like what TV shows do I watch a lot?
Could go back to Brad Pitt though. On the damn, there's so many. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a tough one because it's like expecting like basically for your rest of your life, that's all you can do. So
yep. I think I'm probably going to piggyback onto yours also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She's an amazing actress. All right. Did you want to touch about this Batman animated series thing?
Batman animated series.
You posted it. The animated sequel reportedly in development for HBO.
Oh, yeah.
It was your one contribution to the podcast ideas.
I completely. Yep. Yeah, they're coming out. It's just in development right now. So I'm super stoked about it. It's the same.
Sounds like it.
No, I didn't even know when I posted that. So shut up. But it's based off of the same cartoon that we watched when we were younger and when we were kids. Yeah. So that's what made me so excited about it. I loved it when that was when that happened. So, and I loved anything Batman. So
I really think you would like anime if you gave some of them a chance.
Maybe.
But it's either here or there. And I want to talk about this show I just started watching called Warrior. It's on Cinemax. I didn't really know it's based on the writings of Bruce Lee. And it's basically like Kung Fu meets Gangs in New York meets a Western. So it's about these Chinatown gangs in San Francisco and these corrupt cops. and like this guy is like comes over to find his sister, gets sold to this gang. He's like there was this great fighter in China. Find out his sister is like married to like the rival's leader or whatever, and he's like trying to like free her and like I don't know. It's great. Like I've binged the first season. I just started the second one. Um, Great kung fu, great fight coordination. Kind of has like a western feel. I do love old westerns. I used to watch them with my dad all the time. And then like I don't know. It's just a really interesting show. Wasn't expecting. It's on Cinemax. So you're gonna see boobs. So hooray, boobs.
Yay, boobs.
And it's really interesting. It's mostly like all like Asian people. So we get to see like it's not like your typical here's a bunch of white people. You do there is a lot of racism in it as well. You got these Irish people who don't want the Chinese people like in their territory and they're taking their jobs because they're working for cheap, cutting out them to lower the labor cost, and then the class balance can't be really seen together. The mayor's corrupt, the politicians are corrupt, the cops are corrupt. It's really I don't know, it's a really good show. I'm really enjoying it. If you like kung fu and kind of like old western stuff, and
I might have to check it out.
you're out.
Because I'm gonna
Really
need some. I'm gonna need something after. Because I'm currently in the middle of watching His Dark Materials. I fell in love with it. I started watching that. It took a little bit to get into, but about the fourth episode, I was pretty hooked.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get through the first one, and I just happened to see this, and then I'm all about it now. So
Yeah, definitely watch it. I'm in season 2, episode 6 or something like that. I think I got 2 or 3 more episodes left of this season. So definitely recommend watching it. It is a lot different than most period. It because it kind of is a period movie, but it's
Right.
not. It's in a different dimension. So it's like and then towards the end they start going between worlds and stuff like that. So there's no time difference, so you don't have to worry about that.
We're being correct on time travel.
But I absolutely love it. There are warrior bears, or they're basically tanks in this world, and I love that.
Suddenly
There needs
bear
to be more
tank.
bears.
Eric will love that.
What was that?
Said suddenly bear tank. Eric will love that. It's a wow thing.
But I really recommend watching that. It's great. It's
I'll give that
great
next.
storyline.
I started to watch the first episode. I was like,
Yeah, it took me.
I think this is everyone. But like to be fair, True Blood, which I love, it took me a very long time to get through the first season. It didn't hook me, and I was like, okay. And I'm like, let's see if this gets better. Everyone keeps talking about it.
Speaking of HBO shows and stuff, I thought about this the other day. What is the one show when you hear the TV turn on and the static and then the HBO intro music? What is when you hear that? What, Entourage?
That's the one I always watch. But probably because I didn't really have HBO growing up. I think we had like a limited time, and I watched a little bit of Oz. It's about prison.
No, I know it was rough.
Yeah. But I think it's because I just fell in love with Entourage. I just
see.
I'm just expecting. Oh yeah.
It's True Blood for me, and it takes me back. Like what was it? 2009 when that was big. 2009, because I would watch it at my girlfriend's apartment, and she didn't have air conditioning, and it was hot as fuck. All I remember is like that popping on. I don't know why. It's like a hot as hell. I'm just watching it in the front room, sweating my ass off.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not TV, it's HBO.
Yep, exactly. No, that's yeah.
But yeah, like it has to be Entourage, because like the moment I watched the first episode, I fell in love with that show.
Yeah,
like
I started rewatching it not too long ago. Also,
a couple of times, and I'll probably rewatch it again now that you got that. But Yeah, I kind of want to go back and watch. I never really watched all of The Wire either, and I heard The Wires. I think I watched the first season a long time ago. Um, it's just a lot of stuff because I canceled my HBO. Barry's on there is fantastic.
I haven't watched the last season. Yeah, the
I
newest
don't know
season I
where I'm
haven't
at.
watched.
Where exactly I canceled my HBO where I'm at with Barry, but that was great. Great one. I did get to watch all of Silicon Valley, which was just not as good without TJ Miller personally, but
I don't like him.
really?
Nope, I think he's annoying as hell. He's the same
Wow.
character in every show, every movie. He's just a loud, belligerent asshole.
Well, good thing you get to see him twice in your Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movies.
He is a little bit different in the Deadpool movies, though. He does have more of a
He's not.
subdued. He's more subdued.
That's what
He's still
he
an
does.
asshole, but not as big as of an asshole as Deadpool. I think maybe that's the difference there.
He literally does a whole bit about George Washington Carver in his stand-up.
I just
Martha, bring me the jelly sandwiches and nothing else I'm gonna put on it. It's just talking about like if you invented peanut butter, would you hold it a secret for a little bit before you told anyone? And then he's just like summons his wife with jelly sandwiches and eats a PB&J for the. I don't know. Like who does George Washington Carver jokes? It was awesome.
I don't know. I never watched a stand up, so I don't know. Guy annoys me.
I can't believe. Wow. I think he's awesome. I think he's 100% amazing. And do you really think the show got better once he left? That character was so important to that show.
I don't think he got better. I think it went downhill because they were all doing their own things. They were starting to get bigger than the show. And
yeah, and that's
I think that was their
secondary.
secondary thing. It wasn't their main thing anymore. And I really wish it would have been hour-long shows, honestly, because they did they did like 7 half-hour,
6 or 7, I think.
Yeah, half-hour episodes. It's just not enough.
I think they ran out of. It kind of just felt recycled after a while. Like, okay, they have an app. It goes up. It goes down. It goes up. It goes down. Like,
yeah,
it's basically the same stuff over and over again. Like, granted, I really enjoyed the aspects of it. You know, Ramesh and the other dude, the weird looking glasses.
Yeah, Guilfoyle.
Guilfoyle, like their back and forth was outstanding. Like that was great. Really enjoyed that part, but yeah, it's just like okay.
Yeah,
you guys have done this over and over again. It's the same bit, just kind of rewrote.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Anyway.
So is there anything else that's exciting to you that's coming out soon?
So I'm starting to like WandaVision, kind of now that I see the picture of what's going on. I'm really enjoying it now. I don't know. Are you up to date on all of it?
Yep.
Okay. So now it's basically like, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched it. She created this world. She went and got Vision's body. And at first it kind of looked like she didn't know what was going on. Like she wasn't self-aware. And then like she gradually became self-aware what was going on. So at first I thought she was like mind controlled, or like they had her subdued and she created this world. Turns out she was aware the whole time. And now it's going to be interesting that Vision knows what's going on, how it's going to be, because she's basically controlling these people.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be there. And she took over this town so she could, it comes down to like, she doesn't want to be without Vision. And this is the only way that she could have him, is to create this.
So there was one thing that I noticed in this latest episode where they were discussing about the whole how to get in and how to stop this and all this stuff, and was where they need an aerospace engineer to build this thing. And I was like, oh, it's a weird thing to need. And so while they were talking about that, she on the board right next to her shoulder was a 4, and it was circled.
Was it really? Well, because wasn't Rambo Captain Marvel's friend from the movie, or no?
Yes, that's the daughter.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I kind of.
Yes.
So I'm like, are they gonna bring her in?
No,
But I mean, like, what
she died.
exactly?
She died of cancer. That's who died of cancer.
No,
Was her mom.
It's Captain Marvel.
No, but she's not an aerospace engineer.
I know that part.
Okay.
I'm
No,
just
but
saying
they're bringing
they kind of
they're
refer to-
bringing it.
so
This
Tom
is their intro to the Fantastic
Reed
Four.
Richards.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
And
the only one with space experience and all this. Like I'm like, oh, holy fuck! Like I'm super pumped about
but
this.
is it going to be Miles Teller? Because I know they're talking about redoing it, which I kind of enjoyed the remake of it.
It has to be John Krasinski.
Why?
It absolutely has to be John Krasinski. He's the only one. They were already in talks about him for doing something like this. It's going to be John Krasinski. It has to be John Krasinski. If it's not, I'm going to riot in the streets.
You've been saying that for 13 days about the goddamn Call of Duty merch.
Yes, 13 days in a row. I have tweeted Call of Duty, 100 Thieves, Nade Shot, and the CEO of 100 Thieves that they need to bring out the fucking merch. They started all the stuff. They started all the COD stuff, the COD League 2021, but there's merch for the Rocker and everybody else, but nothing for 100 Thieves. It's pissing me off, and I want it now. I'm demanding it. So I'm going to annoy the fuck out of them every single day until they bring it to me. Okay.
Yeah. Enough. But yeah, so I don't know how they're going to do that. Like, if there is, that'd be great. I hope they bring him in. I hope it's good. It's such a great story and pivot off that they can do.
Yeah. So just a little quick insight. I've actually been staying up till 2 a.m. every Thursday to watch it. Because I don't want any spoilers.
Bro, just get up and don't look at your phone. I don't know anyone who's watching it other than like the nerd cantina that I'm in.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. There's a lot of nerd. I'm on a lot of nerd Twitter stuff too, so I get bombarded on a lot of it. So
don't.
No.
you have to get up.
I have a schedule. Yeah, I have a schedule. It's just like my daily poops, man. I have certain things that I have to do. This is it. I have to harass 100 Thieves in Call of Duty, and I have to watch Wanda-vision at 2 a.m.
I don't know the last time I was up till 2 a.m.
I'm up.
Like this whole weekend I had off. I'm like, I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna game at like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I think it's time to go to bed.
Nope, I just have priorities. I stream a little bit later. I stream a little bit later on Thursdays. So I'm usually up till midnight on Thursdays streaming. So
yeah. So are they gonna make? Is it rumored they're doing a movie or are they doing a TV show with Fantastic Four, or what's the thing going on?
I would assume it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna roll into the next phase of Marvel with Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because they have to do something because, I mean, we got the Origin of Black Widow. We can't really go much on that. We got a Guardians 3, probably a Thor, but Captain America's done.
Yeah, Thor's coming out because it's the whole, because
it's literally, or
Natalie
hold on.
Natalie Portman is in it because she's Lady Thor.
Where's that? So March 19th, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. May 7th, Black Widow. Sometime in May, Loki. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is July. What If? Sometime this year. The Eternals, November 5th. Spider-Man 3 is supposed to come out on my birthday. And then Miss Marvel and Hawkeye as well. So that's the slate for this year. So Fantastic Four won't be until next year. But I mean, we're also looking at Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange, Guardians 3. So I mean, they have some time to get him in there, but
yeah. And I think this will definitely open it up, and I think the Fantastic Four will be in other movies. I think 100% in Doctor Strange. That's my guess. In that, and I think it opens it. So since she's using these powers and stuff like that, in the way that she's using that, so that I believed that she couldn't do that in previous Marvel because it shifted more into the X-Men world, but now she's doing the Psycho stuff.
Oh,
So
speaking of
it's kind of coming rolling into the X-Men side also.
did
So
you get the little joke at the end with Quicksilver?
yeah.
It's the
Loved it.
same person.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, the X-Men Quicksilver was Evan Peters, I believe his name is, who is in WandaVision. And then the other one was Aaron from Kick-Ass. Can't think of his name.
Yeah.
He was the one that portrayed it in the Ultron, Age of Ultron. And so then they brought in the other Quicksilver. It's just like,
Yep.
like it's like the joke. It's the same person.
Yep.
But it's not. It's two different actors, and that's always bothered me.
There was
that he's dead in Marvel, but in X-Men he's alive. That's something. Time travel again.
Yep. Yeah, because I saw a meme the other day where it's like Pam from The Office is like, show me the difference between these two pictures, and it showed each both Quicksilvers, and it's like they're the same picture.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see that, but I think that pretty much wraps it up. Is there anything else you want to discuss? Or
no, there's a new I think it's a new show coming out on Netflix also called Space Garbage or something like that. Let me see what it was. That Space Sweepers.
I did see that.
That I'm gonna watch that, see how that all goes before the next podcast.
Did you ever watch like Cold as Hell or something, like a movie? I think it came out last week, and it was like this truck that they're transporting these prisoners, and it's like in the cold.
Yeah, it's a French movie, I think.
Yeah. So I am trying to like watch those just because they do look interesting, and they are making this to do them. There's another one like called Lupin. I think it's either British or German, where this like it's about this guy.
It's also French. Yeah, no, there's a lot of French movies that are coming out now, so it's really weird.
I haven't like gave them a try, but I'm gonna have to start trying to get into them, see if they're any good. The only thing that bothers me is I don't like if they don't speak English and like their lips don't match what they're saying. It bugs me. Like I don't know.
It's such an American thing to say.
I know it is. It is 100%. It's weird because I love kung fu, but I'm used to that bad ad lib or dud lib, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Into that, it's like I will kill you.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like when it's other stuff like that, like there's movies like that or shows I've tried to watch, and I just focus on that the words are not matching to their mouth, and that's the only thing I can focus on, and it ruins the experience.
Turn on subtitles, dude. Honestly, that's what
I always have subtitles on because
that's what I've done a lot to get over that. It's just because then I don't focus on the lips as much, and I can get past it.
See, when I watch anime, I don't, because I know it's a cartoon, because I always keep the subtitles on. But when I do that stuff, I can't do it. I focus on their lips, and it irritates me.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know, man. We all have our weird things, and that's just one of mine. But so I think that's going to do it for us on this week's episode. Not a lot of gaming. For those that are interested, BlizzCon Online is February 19th and the 20th. I'm super excited about. They're going to do some big announcements. Most likely, the rumor is the new stuff on World of Warcraft that's coming out. The classic, that's most likely the Burning Crusade is going to be announced. Overwatch 2 is probably going to get something. Diablo 4, Diablo Immortal, which is going to be their mobile game. If people don't remember, I was there live when they announced it. Everyone started booing, and the guy comes out, well, you have phones, don't you? Good save, bro. So that's supposed to finally come out. I'm not quite sure what else they're going to announce, but I'm kind of excited for it. It's online. It's going to be free. It's also marking their 30th year of Blizzard as well.
When is this again?
It is February 19th and 20th.
Okay. All right.
So they might have Call of Duty announcements.
They might, because that's right before the season end of Call of Duty for Cold War, and the new map is supposed to come out in March also.
But see, I think it's because it's not their game. They just use their servers. I don't know if they did because they've never done Call of Duty stuff in the past. So I
I
don't
think
know if that's something they're going to look into or not. But
maybe. I don't know. It's possible.
I
There's
think that would be a very interesting concept. 'Cause they have a huge arena or Overwatch arenas type of thing. If they could get like the Call of Duty League going, like at like these conventions,
yeah.
that would be huge. But I think there's too many moving parts with Treyarch and was it Hammer, whatever.
Yeah.
I think who the other developers because they only use Blizzard for PC. So I don't know if that's even a possibility or not, but it'd be interesting that they could do something like that. But
Yeah.
other than that, that's gonna be it for us. Thank you guys for listening. Keep on gaming. I am INF Rebel. He is DMI Patriot. Is there anything you'd like to discuss? Please, tweet at us, message us. You can find us on all social media with our gamer tags. And till the next time, we'll probably be back in 2-3 weeks with some more gaming, some more other stuff.
Yep.
Take care.